Tip your hat and laugh all day on his island. Well, on his island, a little island home.
Hello, this is the Keys Bartender coming to you from the Catch Restaurant here in beautiful Key Largo. I'm joined here with Bill Wissinger.
Hi, how y'all doing?
And Luke Summers. Say hi, Luke. It sounds like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead, but that was Luke Summers, believe it or not. And this episode is brought to you by Bacardi rum, that iconic rum that's known for the Cuba Libre. Did I say it right? Cuba Libre, the rum and Coke with lime. But I am drinking it. I don't know if Luke, have you had a chance to have any of it? I know my friend Cheryl's having some of it, but we're going to get into it a little more in a moment. I wanted to just address a recent topic, and I saw on Facebook someone asked the question, how does the eclipse affect astrology and affect your sign? And I'm going to address that directly right now. It doesn't do anything. It won't do anything. The planets are hundreds of millions of miles away, and the arbitrary star alignments that you see that ancient people made into the hunter or the virgin
if Nancy Reagan were still
or the
around,
bull,
she'd take exception to
they
that.
don't do anything for your life. The moon and the sun, yes. If you say the moon and the sun are important, yes, they are. If they were gone, there would be huge consequences for human beings. But the only way Uranus is going to affect you is if you don't eat enough fiber. Get it? Uranus. You get okay. So
yeah, we got that.
right now, since we have our friends here, we're going to feature some of this rum. Sean, can you do me a favor? Can you just make a small pitcher of the rum punch, Bacardi rum punch? If you have a pitcher. You could use a shaker glass. A shaker, yeah, a glass, 16 ounce, and fill it up. And we're going to do some rum punches, and we're going to pass those out. We just want people to understand that Bacardi rum is great with almost anything. You got the Cuba Libre, which is the rum and Coke. You have, I think, the classic daiquiri. The classic daiquiri is lime juice and rum on ice. You can also do it up as the daiquiri also. And it's delicious.
All I know is the first time I ever got drunk, it was on 151 Bacardi.
Did everyone hear that? Luke was the first time he ever got drunk was 151 Bacardi.
I'm surprised it wasn't Golden Grain.
How old were you, 7?
14.
14. Oh, you know what? That's almost. I'm in the same thing. What was he? Hey, you listen. We're not promoting. We're not promoting irresponsible drinking. We're promoting responsible drinking. But I have to say, I did the same thing. We live in the real world, and that's what happens when we create a prohibition. Children push against it. And that's what happened to the young Luke Summers. What were you, 14 years old?
Yeah.
Is that your first time?
Back in the woods.
First time of getting drunk, yeah.
Did you do anything embarrassing?
Well, I for about the first 15 minutes after I drank most of the bottle, it was great. And then after that, I started puking and dry heaving for the next 2 days.
So there's the image. So
and I have never been able to drink rum since then.
I had the same experience with other liquor before. But you know what? Bacardi rum is not that kind of liquor you would do something like the 151 you may have done.
Yeah, 151
when
you
can abuse it. But if you have it responsibly, I'm actually going to, I want to share that out for the drinks. Hey, listen, why don't you guys talk about your first experiences drinking while I pour this out?
Oh, okay. We probably got a lot of those.
Yes. Let's hear it.
I don't know. I think the first time I got loaded was probably about 12, 13 years old on champagne punch.
Champagne punch.
Christmas party.
Christmas party, yeah.
I was hanging out in the kitchen. My parents were out there trying to be VIPs, and I was back in the kitchen getting hammered with all the cute little cocktail waitresses.
Well, I had a beard.
They thought I was
then,
cute.
so.
They thought I was cute as hell, and they kept feeding me full of champagne punch.
Back then, the drinking age was 18, and at 14, I had a beard, and so I went to the liquor store and got my own booze.
There you go.
And
yeah, I don't think I really ever got carded until about 5-6 years ago when they started doing that big push for card everybody thing.
oh yeah.
Got the girl at the grocery store asking me for my ID. I'm just looking at her going, yeah, sure. There you go.
I don't get that. Winn-Dixie always, when you buy beer at the checkout line, they scan your driver's license into the machine, and I find that personally
Yeah. No, you're on their mailing list now.
Violating my privacy.
You need to know when you're getting the. Actually, if they do the specials when they got the 2-for-1 London broil, I don't care. They can violate me.
Right.
They just have to make it worth my time to be violated.
Well, I have a feeling there's some supercomputer somewhere going, look how much this some bitch drinks.
Dude.
Hey, Luke, you're going to get off that. Let's get off that thing that you haven't had it in a while. So.
There you go.
Oh, shit. Here, take a full one.
No, I'll take a little one. That's fine. I'll take that short. No, I guess Luke's passing me off the tall one. He's going to take the short one. There you go. Hey.
Wow.
Woo, we got light up glasses. Now, since this is radio and you can't see, we do have these very cool little Bacardi shot glasses that have a blinking LED in the bottom that light up when you put liquid in there. That's actually pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Even when Luke turns them over and looks at the bottom.
What we were just trying right here was a rum punch, the classic rum punch, used with the clean flavor, and the favor because they provided the product.
The flavor saver.
Of Bacardi rum. And it's great in those drinks, as well as rum and Coke, which we're probably going to pass out a little later. But right now, besides talking about passing out, sure. The subject of the show was called Desperate Times, First Dates, Tips from the Keys Bartender. And recently, I've seen terms used as love bombing, benching, ghosting, zombieing, and gaslighting. Do you know what that means, Luke?
I have no clue.
Okay, these are terminologies used in dating now. Love bombing is where the subject of affection, the guy that's dating the girl, he just hits her with a lot of affection, and he's love notes, romancing her, and he just hits her up and tries to overwhelm her, and she gets confused. And he just wins over her affections. And the problem with this then in love bombing is that the guys gain these favors of the girls, and they fall in love, and that's it. The guys kind of move on, doing their own thing. They're usually abusive and stuff like that. Benching, the next term. This is a good one. It's exactly what you think.
I don't know. What do you bench?
No, I can bench about 320.
Damn.
Benching is when you're dating somebody and you keep them on the bench, meaning you're rotating them in with other girls. That's what benching means. It's in the Urban Dictionary.
Oh, that's kind of like down here in the Keys. You don't lose your girl, you just lose your turn.
Yeah, well, yeah, but this is from the guy side in the city where you're kind of keeping them on the hook. You're keeping them on the hook, and they don't know where they're coming from. This next one, ghosting. Ghosting is where you never disappear. You back out of a girl's life, and you're showing up every so often. You're going, hey, how you doing? You text them, and you're coming back. Hey, I miss you, but you're really not doing anything. Zombieing is where this is interesting. I think this is where the girl thinks the relationship's done, and you're coming back. She thinks it's dead, and you give her a nod. Now, I've been accused of that. I've been accused of that years ago, and I apologize to, I don't want to say all the women. There's several women that have done this. It could have been all the women. I don't know. But
Maybe one or two.
I know one or two.
have loved before.
Okay.
I'm glad you sang that because I've been swallowing that urge the whole time when you started this.
Yeah, that's zombieing. Zombieing is coming back when the girl thinks that the relationship is dead. And the last one, the most complex one, is called gaslighting. And gaslighting comes from that play, Gaslight. It's when a guy uses...
Yeah, I'm still trying to work this out in my head.
Okay, it's veiled compliments, but it's also veiled insult, where you're taking away the person's self-esteem. So they can't go with anybody else. You're saying, you're very fortunate to have me in your life, and, you know, this is just such a good fortune for you that don't ever get rid of me, don't ever back away from loyalty on me, and that's the way gaslighting is. They lower the person's self-esteem. So, in the 21st century, we've developed a new terminology. We have new technology. We have cell phones, laptops, and all this stuff. But the social media, where the standard of behavior is kind of blurred. And I wanted to talk about first dates and get back to the essence of it.
I like the old-fashioned one where you go out and thoroughly embarrass yourself on the first one. Her parents show back up, pick her back up, and see each other 2 weeks later and pretend it never happened.
You know, there's a lot to be said about that, and I'm not gonna denigrate that point of view. But as a bartender, I've seen a lot of first meetings, and that turn into first dates, and everything in between. And I have to say, first dates are the most frequent because you have first dates are the most plentiful, and then the number starts dropping down in second dates because people behave so badly. Well, as recent as 10 years ago, I've noticed some people sitting at a bar waiting for someone, and it would appear when they met them, they never met them before. And I, in my head, being a 53-year-old man, I would think that there was a blind date. And then I realized they met on Match.com. They never met that person. They met that person through a computer program.
Yeah, nothing wrong with computer program.
No, there isn't.
I actually know a very nice couple that met on Match, and they're super nice, and the guy moved down from Georgia to be with the girl down in Florida, and it's worked out fantastic.
But think about
good for them.
No,
I don't have the patience to deal with that.
No, I understand that.
I always
but
like meeting people on that Ashley Madison site.
Oh, Ashley Madison is where the married guys.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure the only people on there are actually married guys.
Or guys in relationships.
Yeah, I don't think there's actually any women on Ashley Madison.
Okay.
I think
There's
they're
probably
all
a couple, but
just
not many.
guys.
No, they're women that are, what do they call them? No, don't say anything horrible.
Why would
They
I
just
say
do
anything
money
horrible,
grubbing.
Jim?
They're what do you call them? When
What, the gold digger types?
Gold diggers. There's nothing wrong with that because that's what they want. So everyone should go for what they want. But that being said, you're going to get what you're going to reap what you sow. And then when Match.com came up, now this is anecdotal. People are only going to say what is in the best light to reflect themselves. That's if you're going to answer a question. Do you like children? How do you feel about long-term relationships? You're going to answer in the best light. No, but you are. If you're on Match.com,
there's so many questions that I could ask right now that we're just going to skip, so we don't have to check that adult content box.
No, but if you're going to the trouble of jumping through hoops to meet someone on Match.com, you're going to try to reflect yourself in the best light. That's what I'm saying. Come on, it wouldn't make sense. Well, I'm just going to tell them that I like to sit on a couch and scratch my balls all night.
Well, who doesn't?
You'll never say that, but that's what they do. Okay. So I see this. So when you get to meet those people for the first time, you see them sitting there, and they're almost in shock of the person they met. Most people want to connect, and they're depending on their level of function or dysfunction, whether it's defined upwards or downwards, most relationships begin and end on the first date. And that's my conjecture. When I was
I'd
younger,
agree with you.
that was me. In my time, I was really good on the first date or really bad on the first date. And I say 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, I could probably stretch out to a week, a month or two at more. And that's me. So let's go into the do's and don'ts. And then we're going to get into our first dates. And this is the Keys Bartender.
You guys can't see that, but Luke's wave just gave him the high sign about don't even go there with that story.
No. So, yeah, Kim came up to Luke Summers and said, don't
Which
even
means
go
that
with
we
this story.
now really need to hear that story.
Okay. Well, let me get started. And this is, I'm going to go into this, and then we can make our conjectures and everything. So, there's phrases. Do's. When you meet somebody and you're going out on a first date, let's try. You look nice is always underused. But once you get, guys get in this, and girls, once you get in the superlatives, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you're hot, you're the hottest girl I ever met, blah, 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 blah. You have nowhere to go from there. You have nowhere to go. You used up all your superlatives. And you're going to have to make an exception and write some T.S. Eliot level shit. Love poems on your next date. So go easy on the love sonnet, Shakespeare.
I might just fall back on excess use of alcohol.
I know, but the girl's going to remember, and if you
Not if you have enough booze involved. Nobody's going to remember.
Okay. Well, and when it comes to going up to the door, I always suggest to have something in your hand, like not the thing that you probably suggest. A modest bouquet would be good. Nothing more. But you got to remember, there's like a nuclear buildup with these things. You have carnations, you have lilies, you have roses, and then you have earrings and engagement rings. That's where it goes right after that. Be careful. It's a minefield out there where you're dating.
Don't start with jewelry first.
Yeah.
That way you can get tulips on your organ if you give her a nice bouquet of roses.
There you go. I
Instead
like
of
that.
roses on your piano.
Yeah.
He didn't put that part in first, but it's better to have tulips on your organ than roses on your piano.
That's something like that.
Yes. Okay. Now remember, this is a basic one. Ask questions and listen to their answers. People love to tell you about things that are about them. They like to hear their names. They repeat their name back to them. If you're lucky, you'll find out how wonderful they are, or perhaps you'll find out if there's a restraining order against them. Can I have that sheet over there? I think I have that. And listen, this is something I learned recently. Put that goddamn smartphone away. When you're on a date, stop texting. Before I met Abby, if you're on a date, obviously you're out alone by yourself like many people are nowadays. Sad to say. But if you're on a first date, put the smartphone away. Unless you're a doctor. You could be OB/GYN.
No, you still
don't
don't get a pass. If you're on a date, she needs your full undivided attention.
Yeah, you need a full undivided attention. I took a young lady out, beautiful young lady out, and she was an exercise instructor, and she said I needed to talk to a client. I said, what? Tell them how to stretch afterwards or something? Are you kidding me? So put the smartphone away, pay some attention to the person you're with. It's really good.
Well, that's general relationship 101 there.
That's our first date.
That's the 31st date. Pay attention to your wife.
I didn't say that. That's wife. That's later on.
That's later on, even when it starts, pay attention to your wife. If
Okay.
you don't, she's going to whack you upside the head with a book.
Let me talk about grooming. Let's talk about grooming. You go on a first date. If you go on a first date, show some effort. If you only wear T-shirts, jeans, and a hat, make sure they're clean. Shower prior to the date. Prior, I mean within a couple hours. Don't smell like the dumpster outside the place you're going to or look like the person that's picking from it. That's important. The girl wants to see you make an effort. Or the guy. If you're a girl, it's good to be, sound like you look like you made an effort to go and see them. And listen, this is another thing. There's a do. The person that asked for the date pays the check. It's a rule of thumb.
No,
if the
no
girl
dots
asks
on the
you
first
out,
date.
she pays. She says, we're going out to dinner, she pays. You say we're going out to dinner, you pay. That's really easy. Okay, and this sounds old-fashioned, but you know what's really great? Lunch, breakfast, or coffee make a great, easy, non-stressful beginning for many people, and it leaves very little expectations. You're not going to have to worry about going to lip lock. You don't have to worry about someone grabbing, just going for it, grabbing the crotch. It's coffee. I went on a date with a girl. She asked me to go skiing, and she packed a picnic lunch. And needless to say, I told her I knew how to ski.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
I did not. When I got off the ski lift, I took out a family of 15. It looks like I took out the Walton family when I got off my thing. Okay, when you're going out to dinner, if you go out to dinner, a nice restaurant, but not too nice. Leave something you can build on. Because whatever happens, they're going to compare the first date, whatever subsequent date. Why don't we go to a place like you took me in the first time?
Jim's the only one who's not got a significant other here.
Oh, she's listening. She's going to be listening.
I was just once again, this is radio, so you can't see the asides, but Luke's wife is standing right around the corner. My girlfriend is sitting at the bar.
And
Jim's the only one who does not have.
And my wife is at home,
his
and she's going to
significant
listen to
other.
this, and she's going to. And listen, I'm going to have to live with the repercussions of what I'm saying.
There you go.
Okay, so when they say, "How come we never go to
Mike
a place
Padula.
as nice as blah blah blah?" There'll be. Just remember, there are plenty of restaurants between the ranges of restaurants with cheese fountains and the Russian tea room. Oh, at the end of the night, when you're going for a kiss, go on for a kiss for a cheek. Go for the cheek first. If you had a good time and she's receptive, maybe you'll get a little more. Maybe you get a kiss on the lips. Old school, she'll let you know if it's okay, for more or less. And if you go in and you just get the handshake, well, I guess you won't have to worry about the cold sore. You know what I mean? The cold sore that's on yours or hers. Okay. And at the end of the date, it's good to always follow up with a call thanking them for the date. In the worst case scenario...
Thanks for the blowjob, baby.
Oh, man. That's okay. Thank God there's no family here. And I'll check that. I won't delete it. I won't delete it. In the worst case scenario, if the date isn't going so well, you can send a text. You can still thank them for making certain they're not going to stalk you or anything like that.
Because nothing says I love you like a restraining order.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with the no's and the no-nos. Okay, here's the no-nos. As Father Ira from my high school, Archbishop Ryan High School for Boys would say, there was a girls' high school attached to it. And Father Ira worked as the moderator in the library. And he'd go, "Hey, Romeo, get away from that girl. Give the girl some space. You don't want to crowd the girl. Don't assume they have the same intentions you have. You know? So don't lead with displaying your travel kit of condoms and massage oils. Because the girl may not think that's the way the date's going to end."
I don't know. That's a pretty good lead if you're in a strip club.
It's a great, in a strip club, they're going to kick your ass out.
No.
They're going to hit you with mace.
They're going to take all your money.
They'll hit you with mace. Okay. Now you got to remember, don't move so fast. This is don't. Don't move so fast. I've been there. I've been on, I call it a short trajectory date. And when I was young, and I hesitate to say what kind of date it was, but it's when you met them, and within an hour, you're there. At the ultimate consummation, that's a real short-term relationship.
I don't know. That can be stretched out into a very long-term relationship.
I had many of relationships and the ones that last
Provided you know the person beforehand.
Under 2 hours, I've
No.
only had like 5 or 6. That
Yeah, no, I have to put a proviso there. Provided you've known the person for like 8-10 years beforehand, and it's a sudden hookup.
If that's your goal, make sure that other person understands. Now, also, if you think you're from Masters and Johnson's, go easy with the sex talk. Maybe it would be nice if you knew if she had a cat or dog the first time before you get into your Vietnamese sex chair talk. You know what I mean? You don't want to go and say, hey, listen, come over to the house. I got this Vietnamese sex chair. And the girl's like, you lost her. Now remember, on the first date, if you're really like to win someone over, don't trash talk or ruminate about your ex. If all works out, you'll be able to tell your story. Sometimes it makes you look as if you're vindictive or still attached when you get real hung up on that person. I always say when someone talks about my ex-wife, I say, yeah, I was married. She was wonderful. We weren't great together, and that's all.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Don't be crazy or obsessed. I've seen guys looking as if they're ready to stalk the girl, throw her in the trunk, and then take her home to the little pit where they put him in, and they lower the basket down, and it puts a lotion on his skin, or gets a hose again. Because that's not a good way to look. Breathe normally, act normally. Don't fret about the last guy or girl that they've been with, the person you're with, unless they keep bringing it up. Because if they keep bringing it up, it's pretty much dead anyway. Don't try to convert someone to your belief system. Try Christian Mingle, try J-Date, or Wiccan Welcome, where you meet witches.
Oh, are you serious? Is there such a thing?
No, I made that one up.
Dude.
J-Date's real. You like that? Wiccan Welcome?
I was going to go in there and troll heavy.
You know what? I would think that the Wiccans are really...
Except they'd come and shoot me.
I think they're really open to a lot of interesting things. And no insult to Wiccans, but I think the Mother Earth thing, they're very free with their bodies. Hey, don't be late or too early meeting or picking up the person you're dating. I know some guys that come in, I've seen them, come into a restaurant, and they scout the place out. I go, can I help you? And they go, oh, I'm on a date here tomorrow. I'm just checking it out. Oh, to make sure it's nice? No, I'm checking where the bathrooms are. And I'm like...
It's good to be prepared, man. You got to get that Boy Scout motto going. Be prepared.
No, it's like he's trying to make sure she doesn't escape.
Or trying to find the stinky pinky corner.
Yeah. The stinky pinky corner.
That's at the...
I know what it means.
In the back of the Caribbean Club right there.
I know. Right there on the...
on the base side
back,
there.
Yeah. I've never got there with anyone. And one major rule is no movies. No movies on the first date. That is insane. And after the date, don't call back. If you don't hear back, move on. If they're interested, they'll get back to you. Don't get drunk. Man, oh man, did I ever abuse that one a couple of times. And ladies, that goes for you. Also, don't think this is an anomaly that the person's just getting drunk because they're out with you. If they're drunk, if they're hostile, if they're jealous, they lie, that's who they are. And remember that. I went out with this girl, I like to call her rock and roll furry boot girl. Hot blonde, right? We're out on a date. We're having a great time. We're at a Mexican restaurant early. We're at an early 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're drinking margaritas. We have a great time. It looks like it's rolling into the evening. Right about when it gets dark, around 7:30, she starts talking about her ex-boyfriend who's playing in a band in Northeast Philly.
Those damn musicians, man. They'll screw it up every time.
And she starts talking, and she says she just wants to talk to him. So I take her there, and I talked to the manager who I knew. I gave him $20, and I said, listen, When she's done talking to him, make sure she gets a taxi cab home
That's a good plan.
because the date was over.
Because that was going to go down bad no matter what you did.
Yeah, there was once they did that, and she called me up the next day, and she said, we had unresolved issues. And I said, we don't. That was it.
There you go. Perfect.
That was it.
Walk away.
And I want to hear Luke's story right here. Chat me up on that, Luke. I want to hear about you and Kim.
Our first date, huh? Well, it took 2 years to get that first date because I was on the road all the time, so I only saw her once every couple of months or so. And our first date, I took her to the nude beach out at Playa Linda Beach.
You took, wait. You knew her for 2 years, and you went out the first date. You got an opportunity to take Kim out. You took her to a nude beach?
We went to the nude beach, yes, we did.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah. And so then we dropped some hallucinogenics and had a great day. Then I took her to my mom's house, and my mom said, "Oh, what have you kids been doing?" I said, "Oh, we went to the nude beach, got naked, dropped acid,
Hold
had sex."
on. So your first date, you went to a nude beach, dropped acid, and then you went to your mom's, right? That's what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, I just want to straighten it out. Go on.
And so I never lied to my mom, but my mom never believes me, and I think Kimberly was more embarrassed than shocked, actually, because I told my mom exactly what went on, and then my mom was like, "Oh, you kids," thought I was lying.
How old were you guys then?
Damn, that was 20-something years ago, so 30s.
You were in your 30s.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great first date. I've seen many first dates. I saw one guy come in with a girl I knew. I worked at. Actually, I worked at a hospital, and the person was a fitness instructor. And she came in. She sat at the bar, and I guess she came in because she knew me, and she felt safe. And she met this guy. I guess she met on Match.com. I found out after the fact. She met this guy at Match.com. And the guy's talking to her, and he started telling her, he leapt right into his political views about how many kids he wanted to have, how his life was planned. And I thought, oh, man, this guy is ready to strike out. He's ready to strike out. Didn't you know she went out with that guy for 6 months?
Well, you never know.
I know, and she said to me afterwards, he was a control freak. I said, he told you right in the beginning his whole plan for the rest of his life. Why wouldn't you think he's a control freak? Okay, let's hear your first date story.
Well, hi. How
Hello.
you doing? Let's see. Actually,
Was it her?
No, that was
Okay.
not her. Actually, there's a preview to this one because we were at a fundraiser, and I was talking to the cute little girl, and a gentleman that I do IT work with was trying to figure out who I was talking to. Oh, the cute little girl keeps bringing me beer. He had no idea. Anyway, long story short, about a month later, after going by the office 2 or 3 times, I run into her at a local club down here at the Crib, and she's out with her daughter. And we're just having a fine old time. We were actually, the guy sitting next to me was playing. Luke was playing, and we were just having a fine old time. I'd played earlier that evening, and we were up unwinding. And this was one of those alcohol-fueled first dates because we were buying Goldschlager. No, not Goldschlager. What was that? Fireball shots for her and her daughter. And we had a grand old time, and turned out very well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that... you know what? I'm expecting to hear a horror story here.
No, it was not a
Does
horror
anybody
story. It
have a
was
horror story?
fantastic. Oh, I can give you a horror story.
Keith, can I hear anybody have a horror story? I got one in my.
I bet Jeff's got a.
I got a bunch of them.
Oh my God,
Dr. Jeff,
Kim's
you have
back in
one?
town. Hi, Kim. How you doing?
Oh, here we. Keith, do you have a horror story? Come on.
I bet Kim can come up with a horror story for her first
Okay.
date.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Come on up.
I know he can.
Let's give a mic to Keith. Sit down here.
Come on,
Okay,
Keith.
Keith.
Sit right here.
I want to hear a first date story. Don't clean it up. Let's hear it.
So I went drinking one night. Woke up, all good. Then I looked down. I'm like, uh-oh. I got a brown ring and a red ring around my...
Wow.
Okay.
So I went and see the doc. I said, Doc, what is this? He goes, well, son, I got good news and bad news. What do you want first? I said, well, give me the good news. Well, the red is lipstick. Okay.
Good news.
What's the other color? Chewing tobacco.
Ah.
That's it.
That's it. You got to. God damn it! I knew it was going to.
Okay,
happen
it's a
like
joke.
that. I kind of felt that was going to happen, but okay.
Now, come on. Somebody's got to have a serious...
No, I got mine. Okay.
Miserable first date.
I'm going to say the full name as I remember her name. It's 1986. It's Philadelphia. Her name's Kim Cherie. She's a swimsuit model for, and this is going to be a very old sentence, for Gimbel's department store. Gimbel's, okay. And we're on South Street. We're in a car. And it's bumper to bumper. South Street is it's a Saturday night. We're driving down South Street. It's the place to hang out. We're going to go to a bar there. And all of a sudden, she bumps up to a car with three guys. Taps their bumper. One of the passenger doors open up. This Guido walks out, walks back to her window, and starts chewing her out. And I go and I say something to him. I say, hey, listen, it was a mistake. So the guy comes around to my side, and he starts coming to my door. And as he's coming to my door, I open my door. And the guy starts running back to the car. I get out of the car. The guy jumps in the car with the guys, and they peel out. And I'm thinking, I must be like the Hulk. And then I get back in the car right after that, and I see on her lap, she has a .38 caliber revolver in her hand. And what happened is when that guy walked over, she pulled out the gun. And that guy saw it. When I was looking at him, he was looking at the gun. And I'm thinking he's running away from me. So I got back in the car, and she goes, don't worry, I had your back. See, she tapped the guy's car, and then all of a sudden pulled out a gun. I thought I had to just fight, but she was ready to cap the guy. Just a regular, privileged white girl ready to shoot a guy on South Street in Philadelphia. I was ready to go. I had tons of stories like that. I'm telling you. Hey, folks, we want to thank you for coming out. Unless we have any more to say, we want to thank Bacardi. We want to thank Billy and Luke for being here and all our friends that showed up. Remember, Bacardi rum, we still have those specials going till 6 p.m. $3 drinks. Do you want to come up and say anything?
I don't know. Come on, Kim. You got a good first. You got a first. I'm sure you've got a first.
We don't have a set time
first
here.
date.
You can come up here.
You don't have to tell a good. No, you don't have to tell Luke's story. Okay.
See,
no, he already did.
Her and I both were
I
whores
heard
when
you
we
were
were young.
naked and on acid.
Well, no, before we even met, we were both whores, and that's how we hooked up. We got tired of being whores, so that's pretty much how we got together.
Naked and hallucinogens is always
you
a good
just
combo.
said whores twice when you're talking about. Okay.
Well, we were both whores, you know.
Is that okay? I guess
When I
that's
met
all
her,
right.
she had 4 other boyfriends, you know.
Holy shit.
I wonder if
Okay.
Mike Padula has a good
And I was the
first
worst
date
choice
story.
out of all of them because I didn't have any money and I was on the road playing music. I think that's why she picked me anyway, is just to piss her parents off.
Oh, that you know, as a musician, that's always been a plus.
Yeah,
I think we're just about to get kicked off the Family Channel network, the radio network I was planning on going on next.
Oh, I'm
Because of
sorry
that.
about that.
Yeah. So I'm going to give we're going to do our plugs right now. We'll start out with you, Billy.
Let's see, where am I? I've got tomorrow night. We are here at the Catch. Cody James and the Keybillies. 6:30 to 9:30. Always a good time. Good mix of bluegrass, old country, and whatever we decide to play. They're making me play reggae on that big old bass, which kind of pains me. Friday night, I'll be at Sharky's with Sweetwater. Saturday, I am at Shipwrecks. That's a great place. Little hole in the wall up north, fun place. And Sunday, Snooks, 1 to 4. How about you, Luke? Where are you at?
Let's see. Tonight I'm at the Pilot House with the band. Tomorrow I'm at the Blackwater Siren with my buddy Alan Truesdale. And then Alan and I are at the Ocean View on Friday. And then Saturday the band is at the Caribbean Club. And that's as far as I can remember.
Okay, well,
there you go.
Oh,
Shipwrecks on Sunday. What
Shipwrecks
time?
on Sunday.
I don't know.
Probably
if I'm there
like
now.
Okay,
1
well, I
to
mean,
2
4.
o'clock.
1 to 4. 2 to 5.
2 to 5.
I'm not going to say.
Oh, do
anything
we have
about
a
that. I
first
don't wanna
date
mess
happening?
anything up. I want to send out a shout out for my the Holtz. They have the visitor center. When you come in here, as soon as you come in on the right, yes, and the Catch Restaurant and Bar here in Key Largo. Happy hour Monday through Friday at 3:30 to 6:30. Oh yeah, okay, you can go into it. No problem. Tonight we're still doing the specials on Bacardi till 6 p.m. We want to thank Bacardi for bringing their delicious rum. Remember, it's not a Cuba Libre unless you have Bacardi, and also we have delicious rum punch. It's really good with lime juice. It's iconic. And as a bartender, I am here on all day Friday at the Catch, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday night I'm here, and Sunday I am here in the evening, and Monday all day. But we'll have a couple new shows coming away. I think Billy has something to say to you.
And, of course, thank you for Jeff Bailey from the Animal Care Clinic coming up and hanging out in the audience. We do appreciate that.
Are you playing at the Animal Care Clinic? Is that what you were saying?
No, but
No, he was thanking Jeff.
Thanking
Bailey
Jeff for coming
Oh,
up
that's
and
good.
hanging
Hey,
out
yeah,
the show.
they just had to clear the shelter event. They cleared a shelter event last week, right? Cleared a shelter event. Listen. Yep, and let's remember if you let's not attend to these puppy mills and things like that. Let's go and adopt a
there
rescue
are
dog
so
or a
many
rescue
rescue
cat.
dogs and animals out.
Petfinder.com, you can type in whatever you want to get. I want a bulldog, this old, and they'll tell you the closest rescue that has that.
That was
Petfinder.com.
Petfinder.com.
Petfinder.com. Don't confuse with ThaiBride.com because that's illegal. That's 14 to 17-year-old. I'm just kidding about that. This is the Keys Bartender. I want to thank the Catch Restaurant. Luke Summers has to go right now to get to the thing. We'd like to thank everyone who showed up once again. Thank you, Bacardi. Goodbye until next week.
Thank you all. We appreciate it.
Peace.